guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a bit of a haul. These aren't all books that I have bought. Majority of them are actually books that I've borrowed from the library because I am trying to ban myself from buying books. So I'm actually trying to borrow them from the library first. If I really enjoy them, like if they're 4 or 5 star reads, if I think I'd reread them eventually, then they go on my wish list to buy. And if it's anything below that, then it just stays on the red list and we won't purchase that probably ever. So the first book that we are talking about today, this isn't even the book that I'm reading. Why am I holding it? So I figured I'd share with you guys the book that I'm reading at the moment, which is Escaping from Houdini by Kerri Maniscalco. I can't tell you too much about it because it is the 3rd book in a series, but I can tell you about book 1, which is Stalking Jack the Ripper. My mum's coming. You can talk, I'll just edit it out. I paid $32.99 for this book. As if. What firstly drew me in for this book was on the back it just has a little bit of a summary about who Jack the Ripper is, but the very bottom says I was the girl who loved Jack the Ripper, so that's what grabbed my eye in the first place. But this book is set in London during the 1800s, so it follows Miss Audrey Rose Wadsworth, and after the death of her mother, she's really interested in learning more about death and how it works, so she trades in her embroidery needle for a scalpel and she starts secretly apprenticing in forensics under the eye of her uncle, who actually teaches a class in the subject. But soon she actually does get roped into the investigation of serial killer Jack the Ripper and finds out that some of the clues that she is investigating might actually be hitting a little too close to home. I really enjoyed both of these books. I felt that they could move a little bit slow at times. This next book is one that I bought myself, and that is The Disasters by M.K. England. So The Disasters follows this guy named Nax Hall. He's a bit of a hot shot, makes several bad decisions, and that's actually why he ends up getting kicked out of the Ellis Station Academy in less than 24 hours of him being there. So like, good job, sweetie, you're doing great. Just as he's about to make his trip back to Earth, the Academy is actually under attack by a group of terrorists, and Nax, as well as 3 other washouts and failures of the Academy, are the only survivors. As the only witnesses, they're also the perfect scapegoats. So they're framed, they're on the run, and they are trying to spread the truth about what actually happened to the Academy by holding this dangerous heist, just because they're the only ones alive who can actually tell the truth. It sounds absolutely amazing, and I love the premise of the outcasts coming back to save the day. Alright, this is the last book that I have that I've actually bought myself recently. So this is Sherwood by Megan Spooner. She actually wrote Hunted, which was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I finished that with BookTubeathon last year, and this is her 2nd work of art, which is actually a Robin Hood retelling. So the novel starts when Robin of Locksley is actually dead, and the town is being persecuted by this sheriff, and the sheriff's right-hand man wants to step in and be both Robin Hood and, like, through that, Lady Marion's fiance, and she's basically just saying, like, hell no, like, you are getting nowhere near me. And in doing that, she steps in as her own hero under the guise of Robin Hood. So I'm not sure if that's saying that she's like putting on his cape and everything and is pretending to be him and then giving people hope that he is still alive, or whether or not Robin Hood and Robin of Locksley are 2 different people and she's just becoming a new town hero. But I guess we'll figure that out when we start reading, and I'm so stoked for this. Alrighty, this next one, I am a little bit late jumping on the bandwagon, but that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Didn't really know what this book was about until I borrowed it from the library. Everyone was raving about it, everyone loved it. I don't think I've heard of a bad review about this book yet. This book is about a bit of a recluse of a Hollywood icon named Evelyn Hugo, and after several years, she is finally ready to tell the story of her life in scandal and glamour and everything like that. But what's really strange is that she chooses a reporter that no one has ever heard of named Monique Grant. And Monique's like, yeah, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna jumpstart my career, like this is gonna be great for me. And then as Evelyn's story kind of reaches its conclusion, you start to see that their paths intersect, and the blurb actually says that they intersect in tragic and irreversible ways. I have no idea what that means. I'm pretty sure there is a massive ass plot twist in this, but I'm so ready. Alrighty, this next one, I'm not actually sure if I'm going to finish it. It is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I have heard that this book was a bit of a flop. I knew that a lot of people were excited about it, and then so many people DNF'd it. I think the world building was really bad. I think it was quite complex, and I also think that the characters weren't that relatable. You know, we have to figure out these things for ourselves. So it is set in Paris in 1889, which is intriguing already, and this dude whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me, Severin Montenay-Allery, he gets recruited by this Order of Babel, or Babel, however you want to say it, to help them on a mission. So to help him find the artifact that the Order is after, he recruits a bunch of people to help him along the way, and pretty much this artifact could potentially change the course of history if they survive long enough to find it. So it does sound promising, but at the same time, I think I'm going to be going into it with very low expectations. Alright, so these last two books, I actually haven't heard people speaking about them on BookTube before. If you have, I'm sorry. The first one is called White Rose by Kip Wilson. So White Rose is something that's a little bit different to what I would normally read, but after reading the blurb, I just couldn't help myself. It's set in 1943, and it does tell the true story of a young girl named Sophie Scholl. I just had to check what her last name was. She and her brother were both arrested and are facing sentencing for distributing pamphlets that go against Hitler's regime in Germany. And that is a crime that is punishable by death. So this pretty much is just telling the story of how she got there and why she did what she did, and apparently it really just delves into freedom and what would you do for yourself and for the people that you love, and it just sounds so promising. The entire book is written in this way, and so I think it's going to go by incredibly quickly. But I think it is going to be a bit of a whirlwind of emotion as well. Okay, and the last book that I will be sharing with you guys today is called Every Moment After by Joseph Moldova. Once again, have not heard of this book too much, but I feel like it is incredibly relevant in today's times, and I feel like I'm going to need a box of tissues because I'm probably gonna cry. So this book is centered around two boys named Matt and Cole. So they've been best friends since kindergarten, since they made a trio with this boy named Andy, and they've even been friends through a school shooting in grade 1 that killed Andy, as well as 17 others. Cole doesn't actually remember anything about the shooting, but he somehow ended up as the poster child for the event. Matt is struggling with survivor's guilt because he was homesick on the day that it happened. So the novel takes place in the summer after their senior year, and apparently it touches really heavily on grief. It's full of raw emotion and brutal honesty. Also, the quotes on the back just say that it covers the most genuine male friendship that they've read in a novel before. So it sounds really intense, but I feel like it's something that we do need to read because it's something that is very prominent in today's society. As much as we wish that it weren't, and as much as it shouldn't be, it is. As confrontational as it's probably going to be, I am extremely excited to delve into this. Alrighty, so these are all of the books in my haul for you guys today. Please let me know if you have read any of the ones that I talked about, and also if any of them interested you, because this is one of the first videos that I've actually given blurbs. If I have somehow convinced any of you to add these to your TBR, then please let me know, because if you want to read them with someone, hit me up. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe as well if you would like to see some more videos with me. I will see you guys next week.